who's calling that shit?
Hey girl, hey. It has been a minute. I have truly missed y'all. 2026 will be the year of consistency. 2026 will be the year of consistency. Diamond, 2026 will be the year of consistency. It's time. It's like, let go of the fear, let go of the worry, let go of the anxiety, let go of the negative talk that you're giving yourself. 2026 will be the year of consistency for us. Like I said, I miss y'all. It has been plenty of ideas, plenty of brainstorms, plenty of times that I just want to pick up this camera and just go to yabba, 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 yabba. But fear will kill the cat. All the time, fear will kill the cat. So I'm learning to just stop caring. You know, social media, sometimes the way that you're brought up in life, all those things can play a factor in your adulthood to where fear will override any and everything that you want to do in life. And I've conquered stuff that I thought that I would never even be able to conquer with the life that I have. So it's like, stop doubting yourself. Stop doubting yourself and stop letting fear override your dreams, girl. Do you want to be the girl to say I wish, or do you want to be the girl to say I did? Okay. Now, this is a podcast that I would like to introduce you all to. It has been created over some time now, but like I said, fear overrides everything that I want to do. So I am just saying and declaring on January 13th that I'm just doing it. I'm stepping out on faith all the way. I'm stepping out. It is what it is. I can't do nothing but hope and wish for the best of these, you know, because I know my intentions at the end of the day. And intentions show and tell everything. Now, I want to name this podcast Girl Talk. As far as researching, I didn't find any other podcast named Girl Talk. So if there is one, please forgive me. Please forgive me. But this is just, like I said, my whole channel is intended to be a safe space for women. But this will really just be a safe space because, true enough, being a female and being a mother, being a single mother on top of that is hard. It's not just hard to where it's like, oh, I can't do it, even though we may feel like that at times. It's just hard because it's a lot that we have on our plate at one time, being one person. But this is just, oh, I don't know how. But I just broke my lip gloss. I was squeezing it. Oh. I was squeezing it and it just started coming out. I mean, it's a hard thing for me to do. It ain't even hard. But as I was saying, this is just a space where we're just gonna come and vent. You know, if you have any questions for me as a single parent, if you have any questions or want any advice on anything pertaining to anything, please feel free. This is for us, baby. This is for us. This is for us, okay? But specifically on today's topic, I will be leaning more on the single mother side. Due to some things that I just seen repeatedly on social media, and I just feel like that I could just be the one to comment on it because who's better than a single mama? Oh, especially one such as myself. Anywho, so in the middle of me brainstorming, this just came across my mind, and I just decided, you know, what I said was fire. And then I was also on the phone with a friend that also confirmed that it was fire. So I'm like, okay, let me write this down, and why not just use this to my advantage? Okay, so I will put this up here on the screen for you all, but I will read this aloud. Okay. It says, people condemn single mothers for choosing the wrong person to lay with. But what they fail to realize is we couldn't get ourselves pregnant. Yes, we're having unprotected sex, risking ourselves for getting pregnant. But we're also not the only ones out here having unprotected sex. We're just the ones that they choose to knock up. So instead of making it seem like we're the only ones at fault, hold these deadbeats accountable for getting someone pregnant and leaving them for dead. At the end of the day, we didn't choose to be single mothers. They chose us to be the mothers of their children. Yuck. Excuse me. Let me just start this off by saying, first and foremost, this is not intended to be a diss towards anybody, baby. My truth is simply my truth. I cannot tell nothing but my truth. And the truth, but specifically my truth. So, if the shoe fits, put it on tight, run around in it, flip in it, fumble in it. Beats me. But specifically, I would just like to say for myself, I'm not claiming to be innocent. I'm not innocent by far. But like I said, my truth is my truth. I would say for my first incident with becoming a single parent, I was an innocent person. And I'm saying that wholeheartedly because true enough, that day I made plenty of mistakes that I cannot take back. But at the end of the day, I know how I was raised. And I was raised by two very strict parents. My mama did not play. She still do not play. But my mama did not play me going over anybody's house or everybody's house. Vice versa for our house. Even if it was outside playing, she would literally come outside and stand on the porch and be like, who is that? Why do they know what we say and what do they say? Like, she did not play. My dad, he wasn't just as strict, but he wanted to know the when, where, how, and why. He definitely wanted to know why you want to go. Why? What is your purpose? What is this going to do for you? But he was a little more lenient than my mom. But if it wasn't a setting that he approved of, then it was slap no. And you knew not to second guess or question him or nothing. So that was truly the type of lifestyle that I had. I did not have parents that let me see any and everything. I did not have parents that had me around any and everything. So I was exposed to a lot, but it wasn't because of them, I would say specifically. So once I stepped out, once I had like that one little chance to just go out and be grown, once I had that chance to go out and be grown, I took advantage of it. I'm gonna be honest. I took advantage of it. And it landed me to be a mother at the age of 16 years old. And I don't regret it. I don't regret it by far. Only thing that I regret is not taking it as serious as it actually is and as it actually was. I honestly didn't know what sex was, what intercourse was, to the depth. I knew what it was as far as the penetration, you stick it in and, woo, 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 woo. But the actual depth with intimacy, I did not know about it. So I was really ignorant to it all. So like I just sat here and made an impulsive decision and it came back to bite me in my tail, because if you want to be real, just based off the experience, neither one of us knew what we were doing. Neither one of us had no business, obviously. But it happened. God does everything for a reason. I do not regret my child. I love my child. My child have been the reason why from from the beginning. So I do not regret any of it. It's just I wish that I knew more so that I could protect myself more, so that I could hold myself more accountable to the decision that and the consequences to what I was about to do, you know. But it is what it is, give and take, give and take. But I would say for that specifically, it just happened, and I ended up getting pregnant at 15 years old. And I would say with me and him specifically, I feel like we were just two babies. Two babies, didn't know what we were doing, had no business doing what we were doing, thought that we were grown, thought we knew what we were doing, and it just came back to show us that we really didn't. I would say for him, at first, I would say fear. For my perspective, I would say fear and just immaturity. Being a child. Being a child, I would say fear and immaturity. That is what landed me. I would say from my perspective, with that being my baby's father and me dealing with him, I would just say for him it would be fear and immaturity. Unfortunately, life has its tolls, so whatever the reason is today, that is out of my hands. But I just said all that to say that I did not plan to be a single parent. No single parent plans to be a single parent. If you are a person that just drives someone to the you know, just all that obnoxious toxic stuff to where you force a person to be like, all right, you know what? And even then, I would say from the mother perspective, and as far as the relationship, you know, exiting from the two-parent home, I would say that. But even so, you still should not take that out on the child. Even still. I say that from my perspective, they're not active at all. Like the growth with my daughter's father, it has started progressing over the years. I will give him that. But with my son's father, it's absolutely nothing. Like cold turkey, nothing. Like it's like we don't even have a child together. So it's just like, be more compassionate on the single mothers. You know, don't just beat us down. Yes, hold us accountable. Hold us accountable to the impulsiveness. Hold us accountable to the recklessness. Hold us accountable to, you know, all that. All the whole 9 yards. But at the same time, hold both parties accountable, because if it was not for the male's ejaculation process, we would not be pregnant. We wouldn't be pregnant. So I just feel like, tell these fathers to stop doing stuff with people that they stop. If you don't plan on being with that person long term, if you don't actually see you actually mother and father in two-parent home, if you actually do not see that, please stop harming us. Please stop. Because it's hard. It's hard. It's hard. It's hard. Now moving forward with my son's father, with my second baby father, I would just say with that, in the most nicest and respectful way as possible, God does everything for a reason. Okay? God does everything for a reason. This is going to be positive, so I'm not even going to dip into that pool. I'm going to stay on the sand. God does everything for a reason, okay? But that just goes back to say what I just said. If you know that you do not want to be with someone long term, if you know that you do not want to stay with the person, build a life with a person, hopefully soon marry that person, be with that person for a lifetime, raise them children or that child together. Stop being stupid. Stop being immature. Stop being selfish. Stop being selfish. Stop being selfish at the end of the day. Like, It's ways to prevent pregnancy. It is. Because truth being told, we're not the only ones out here having unprotected sex. Like I said, we're just the ones that they knocked up. We're just the ones that didn't get lucky. Susan Salad Jane got lucky. He snatched it. He got it. He out of there. We didn't get so lucky. We didn't get so lucky. So I just want everybody to just think about everything. Put everything into perspective, because true enough, whether you have a daughter or a son, they need both parents. They need the mother and the father. If it conquers better outside of a home, cool, nothing wrong with it. Literally, whoop-de-doo, the child will grow up to be just as fine. But at the end of the day, not being in your child's life whatsoever, not checking in on your child, not conversing with your child, not playing with your child, all the things, because everything is not about money. I would say for me specifically, it's not about money for me. It's literally not about money for me at all. At all. I finally put my foot down after years of just getting tired of seeing someone just go on with their life like my child doesn't exist. I finally have put my foot down. And even still, that's not even what I wanted. That's just showing you, stop playing with me. Stop playing with me. Like, this child does exist. Stop playing with me. Please. But at the end of the day, you being active, you being an active parent in your child's life matters. It matters, because I also see how that affects my children. It affects the kids. Please don't ever think that your child is young. Oh, they're not going to remember. Oh, yes, they are. Yes, they are. My youngest is 4 years old, and he's intelligent. He never fails to amaze me. I'm being just so honest. He never fails to amaze me. Things that I didn't even think that he knew, he knows. They learn daily. They ask questions. They ask where you are. They ask, why is this person not around? Why does this person do that? Why does that person do that over here with this child and not with me? Why do they do this? Why do they do that? Why they always with their friends? Why they ask. And you know what I do every time? Because I'm not the type of parent. You know what I tell my children? Pray for your father. Pray for your father. And I'm being so honest. Pray for your father. Because that is the only thing that we can do. That's the only thing that we can do. Us bashing them, us blowing their phones up, us cussing them out, us pulling up and all that. Plus, I don't even do all that. But I'm just saying, all that, thinking that you're going to get a reaction, that's just something temporary. That's just something that temporarily just blows off the frustration and esteem that you have built up in you. But if we're just being honest, none of that actually changes anything. It's all up to that person. And that's with both mothers and fathers, because there are single fathers out here. It's not just mothers. That is for single fathers as well. But I'm just speaking on my behalf specifically and what I relate to. Your presence matters more than you may think. More than you may think. So, as I said all this to say I did not intend on being a single parent. With my second, I always said that if I brought another child into the world, going through what I went through with my first child's father and seeing how that just played out and affected my child, I always said if I had another child, I would literally aim to really be with that person. But that also caused me to accept a lot that I should have not accepted. It did. I'm talking about like getting dragged and you constantly just, the only thing that was on my mind was two-parent home, two-parent home, two-parent home, two-parent home, two-parent home. I fought for that two-parent home so bad that I literally let that man, I allowed that man to turn me every way but loose. And it wasn't just because of that, because love played a factor. Love played a factor for sure. But I also, and then with me having a boy, and that's another thing too. I was so fearful. I was so fearful at being a boy's mom, because I was like, oh my God, I do not know how to teach this little dude how to pee. I cannot potty train. I don't have that. I cannot teach this dude how to, like, everything I said I couldn't do, I have done, and I am still doing to this very day. But that does not take the place of the father. It doesn't by far, and I don't have no problem admitting that, because at the end of the day, on top of all that I have done, and on top of everything that I'm still doing to this day, it is still things that I just cannot do for him. It's going to take a male. It's going to take his father. And if it doesn't take his father, it's going to take a male. Respectfully. So, being there matters. Being there matters. And don't think that, oh, since they're young, like I said, they're not going to remember. And if you just, once they turn like, what, 10, you want to come and pop in and throw footballs and play basketball, the child's going to be happy. The child's going to accept you with welcoming arms. But at the same time, it's like, buddy, where you been at? Where you been at? Where have you been? And are you really ready to have that conversation with your child? That's the thing. Are you ready to sit down? If you're going to be honest, are you really ready to sit down and have that talk with your child about why your mother was actually a single mother? Now, if it's the mother's fault, that's the mother to take accountability. But if it's both ways, or if it's just one way street, are you ready to have that conversation with your child? Even as yourself. Even as myself, as a mother. Am I ready? No, I am not. Not by far. I'm not ready whatsoever to sit here and tell my children the mistakes that I made, and tell my children, I'm sorry for being impulsive. I'm sorry for ignoring the red flags. I'm sorry for not putting you into consideration, because if I'm being honest, I was being selfish in the act that I was doing. Same way they were worried about getting theirs, I was worried about getting mine. Sure was. I'm just going to be honest. You want yours, I want mine too. Let's do it. Boom. Not even putting into consideration that you could bring another child into this world. Not putting into consideration that you could bring another child into this world with potentially having no father. So it's like I said, hold single mothers accountable too, but give us grace. Please give us grace. Give us grace, because I promise you, if you ask 90% of the single mothers, do they want to be single mothers? All of us will say no. All of us would say, if it's, I'm talking for myself, if it's something that I could do to make some snap and change, I would do it at the drop of a dime, because that's just how much I need their help. But you cannot force nobody to do nothing that they don't want to do. Nobody's forcing me to be an active parent. Nobody's forcing me to be the mother that I am. It's a choice that I'm choosing to get up and make every single day. Same for them. That's why I say, hold them accountable too. Hold them to the same standards that y'all hold us to. Hold us to the same wholeness that y'all hold them to. Hold us to the same dumbness that y'all hold, that, y'all hold us to. Hold them to that as well. And before I end this, to the single mothers, because I will say, as I said, it is hard. It is hard. You want to call that man, you want to pull up. Every time you see him go live his life, you want to, ooh, the stuff we could do, boy, if we could just look at a nigga and, but it's not worth it. It's not worth it. You know what's worth it? Healing. Accepting what you did. Forgiving yourself for what you did. And healing so that you can be the mother that your children need. Simple. Because it is going to affect your children. Even if you have someone else to step up, they will never take the place of their actual father. Never. Never. So you have to heal so you won't be bitter. So you won't take the anger and the frustration out on your children. So you won't constantly tell them, oh, I wish your dad was this and I wish your dad was that, because that's me. That's me. I'm going to take accountability. That is me. I'm not going to say it was me or it have been me. That is me. When I get tired, when I get frustrated, when I get overwhelmed, I want everybody to leave me alone. I wish that y'all daddy would come and get y'all. I am tired. But it's not their fault. They can't do nothing about it. Even after you done said all that and probably just mentally and emotionally just traumatize your child. It's not worth it. So I'm choosing to heal. I'm choosing to accept what I have, accept that what I have caused on myself, and I'm forgiving myself for that. And I'm just working best with what I got, because at the end of the day, if I don't do it, no one else will. If I don't heal and be the mother that I'm supposed to be for my children, no one else will. And even if someone else do, they will not take the place of mama. So we have to, even by ourselves, even with the impatience, even with the overwhelmness, even with the tiredness, even with the anxiety, even with the frustration, even with the stress, we still have to get up and do what the freak we got to do for these children or for your child. So do that. Stop throwing slick shots on social media. I'm myself too. It's been a minute, but I have been a victim to that. I mean, I have been the villain of that too. I done called. I done sent paragraphs. I done wrote messages. I done cursed out. I done did this. I done did that. I done did so much stuff. But guess what? I'm still a single mama. So it's like, shut up. Shut up and just play the cards that you have dealt. Simple. Play the cards that you have dealt. One thing my kids gonna know, and one thing my kids gonna be able to say, yeah, my mama was by herself, and yeah, she struggled, and yeah, she did this, and yeah, she did that. But at the end of the day, my mama made that happen. Every time. With tears in my eyes, with frustration, with stress, with my hair flying north, south, east, and west, with the clothes looking like 2-3 years ago, I done did it. I done been there, done that. But as long as my kids know, no matter what, I got my mama. That's all I care about. It's hard. It's hard. It is hard. Do you hear me? It is hard. It is hard. But at the end of the day, we can't go back in time to change nothing. And we don't know what the future holds. So, work best with what you got and keep God in the middle of everything. And it's easier said than done. But I promise you, God have took me through doors. God have worked stuff out for me. God have made ways that I know for a fact them fathers would have never been able to make. Never. So at the end of the day, don't have so much dependency on man. Don't always put as much hope and faith in man, because at the end of the day, God can do way more than me, him, her. Anybody can do. Anybody. If you, because with me being a single parent, I done struggled to keep a job. Plenty times, baby. Plenty times. I done struggled to keep a job. I done struggled. Do you hear me? I done struggled. All because of me not having no help. All because of people looking at me and saying, no. All because people responding back and saying, figure it out. You the mama, figure it out. I done heard the whole 9 yards, baby. My oldest is 8. And there's people out here with children older than us who have seen and experienced worse. So, to keep me just being the best version of myself, I'm just learning to just give it all to God. Give it all to God and let him take control over it all. Because at the end of the day, I had to look at it too, in a way, with my second baby, with my first one too, but I would get more from him than my second baby father. So, for example, with my second baby father, I have absolutely no contact with him. Like I said, I don't know where he stay. I don't know where I know literally absolutely nothing about that man. And it should be vice versa. I know nothing about that man, okay? Nothing. I can't even tell you what that man looked like today. I can't even tell you what that man looked like a week ago. I can't even tell you what that man looked like 5 months ago. No cap. So, I had to look at it in a way like, God sees things that we don't see. God knows stuff that we don't know. I don't know what type of life he out here living. I'm not saying he's living any kind of life. I'm not saying it by far. But I don't know what his day-to-day life is. I don't know what he endured on his day-to-day life. Who knows that God is not protecting my child from anything? I'm not even saying from him. Because I do not believe that he is any harm to our child by far. But who's to say the environment? Who's to say who he's around? Who's to say where he lives? Who's to say the neighborhood? We never know. So it's like at the same time, stop taking everything so personal. Stop thinking everything is the enemy. God's rejection is also God's protection. We don't know what God is saving our children from. So, I'm just learning to accept what I have gracefully and respectfully and with forgiveness in my heart. Because it takes a lot. It does. To go through, to experience your pregnancy like I did with my second baby father, to experience the whole 9 months with him, to experience afterbirth with him. And then for me to have my child and he literally just ghost us. I didn't know what to do. I literally did not know what to do. I did everything in my power to not make the same mistake twice. I swear I did. But it's also times where you have to choose yourself. Are you going to stay in this for the child, or are you going to leave for the child? And your children, because I have two. So, even though that wasn't my first child father, if I would have stayed and kept enduring what I was enduring, that would have affected her too. So are you going to stay in this for your child, or are you going to leave for your children? I did not intend on being a single mother twice. I did not. But those are the cards that I have dealt. So I have to deal with them. I do. And I have to do that gracefully. I have to forgive myself. I have to forgive my baby fathers. And I have to move on with my life. Being bitter, being miserable, being angry, staying stuck in hurt, staying stagnant in hurt, that's not going to help neither you, your child, or the baby father. So heal, baby. Heal. Forgive yourself. Accept what you have done. And go on about your life. Branch off. Who's to tell you what you can and can't do being a single parent? As I said, I done did a lot that I thought that I would not be able to do. And I'm still going to have a lot to do that I do not think that I'm going to be able to do. In Jesus' name. But watch how it happens. Because of God. Because of God's grace and God's mercy. On me and my children's life. Because of my heart. Because of forgiveness. I'm just saying, y'all. So, as I said, give us grace. Be more patient with us. hold both parties accountable, because true enough, we made a mistake, but we didn't make the mistake on our own. Before you judge, look at both ends of the stick. Before you sit here and condemn, look at both ends of the stick. Because I did not plan this. I'm pretty sure no single parent out here wants to be a single parent. Okay? Everything's not for everybody. Everybody is not going to want to date a single parent. Everybody is not going to want to deal with single mothers. And that is okay. Your person is out here for you. So don't beat yourself up. Don't disapprove yourself. Don't already look at yourself and think that you're not worth everything that this world has to offer because of decisions and the way that life has played out for you. Continue to strive. Continue to keep going. Continue. Okay? Cry those cries. Because God is right there wiping every tear, baby. I promise you. Even if it don't seem like it. Even if it don't seem like it. Never look at where you are now. Look at where God has brought you from. Look at how it was and look at how it is now. It may not even be a drastic change, but just look at the small changes. Look at the small improvements. Look at the small ways that God have made for you and your children with what you have going on. And look at everything else that He has to offer you in this life, baby. The sky is not the limit. The sky is not the limit. I pray that everyone takes heed of this. If you are a single parent in any type of way, form, or fashion, stay encouraged. Keep doing what you're doing. Go to God, heal, so that you can be the parent that your children needs you to be. Let that bitterness go. Let that hurt go. Let that anger go. Forgive them. Forgive them so when they are ready to be the father that you need and the father that your children need, you can accept that with open arms. You won't turn that person away. You won't hold that hatred in your heart. You will let the past go and let that person be who they need to be for you and your children. Don't be what you don't want your children to have. And that's on both ends of the stick. With yourself as being a mother and towards your baby's father. Because I have faith. Woo. I have faith. I have faith in God. And I have hope that this will not always be like this. I really do. I wholeheartedly do. I have seen the growth. I have seen the ways that God have answered my prayers. Whether it was a phone call, whether it was you just getting your child for a day, whether it was you showing up to a birthday party, guess what? That's an answered prayer. So keep faith in God. Keep Him in the middle. Stay on those knees, babies. Pour your heart out to God, because can't nobody do nothing about it. I promise you. It's all up to that person. Pray. Instead of you speaking negative and putting negative out into the air, instead of you saying, oh, he a deadbeat, F him, I hope he this, I hope he lose this, I hope he lose that, do the opposite. Lord, I thank you for changing his heart. Lord, I thank you for bringing him back to his family. Lord, I thank you for bringing him back to his child. Lord, I thank you. Lord, I thank you. Even in advance, Lord, I am thanking you for bringing my children's fathers back to them. And them being the fathers that they need to be. And that's on period. All right, guys. As I said, this is episode 1, or however you want to put it, of Girl Talk. There is plenty more to come. I have plenty more ideas. It's all just up to me. Like I said, consistency is key. 2026 is about consistency for me. Letting go of fear and being consistent. I thank y'all for all the love and support. I appreciate y'all. Y'all just don't know. A little goes a long way. I'm praying for every one of y'all, no matter the circumstance. I pray that better comes our way. That is in Jesus' name. Amen, amen, amen. All right, guys. Until next time. Bye.